Birria tacos are one of the hottest things to hit the food scene in the last few years. You know them as tacos filled with tender beef and Monterey Jack cheese, grilled to crispy perfection in beef fat. If this weren't enough, they're then dipped in consomme, aka the beef braising liquid, to create the taco eating experience of your dreams. But today, I'm gonna show you that they can be just as delicious with fish.
There we go. Fish on. Oh, it's a yellowfin croaker. Haven't caught a yellowfin croaker in a long time.
You know, the two most common fish that you're going to be catching in here in Southern California are hard surf perch and yellowfin croaker. And I actually haven't caught a yellowfin croaker in a couple of months. I'm beginning to wonder where they are. This one's a small one though, it's only like 10 inches, so we're going to let him go. All right, they call them yellowfin croakers because they're part of the croaker family and they literally croak. In your hand, you can hear them if you put your ears close to them, and you can feel them when you're holding them. So we're gonna let this guy go right here.
Fish on. Boy, he fought hard. He fought really hard. All right, there's another bite. There we go, fish on. Oh, it's a good one. It's really pulling. Definitely has a lot more weight than those two other fish we just caught. That's another croaker.
Some of you might be wondering what the surf perch and yellowfin croaker are eating out here, and their main diet during the summer consists of sand crabs, but during the winter months those sand crabs kind of disappear. This is a major source of their food during those cold winter months. These bean clams, you know, they're really tiny, about the size of a fingernail. And they're all over in shallows right here, which is why you can catch yellowfin croaker and surf perch right where the waves are breaking, where all that white water is.
There we go, fish on. I think this might be another croaker by the way it's fighting. Yeah, it's another yellowfin croaker. Big one. Check that out.
Here's that yellowfin croaker we caught, guys. Great fight. I thought it was a lot bigger than what it was actually. But we're gonna take this one home and make something tasty with them. What a great day of surf fishing, guys. Unbelievable. It seemed like almost every cast we were catching a fish, or every other cast. And we were getting a wide variety of things too. We got this croaker, we got surf perch, we even got some walleye surf perch, which I hadn't caught in a couple of years. So it's a real fun day out there. And I think we might have caught north of 15 fish, so a lot of fish out there. But I kept just these 3 croakers. I haven't caught a croaker in a couple of months. Even though they're very common here in Southern California, I thought, you know, what's going on here? I haven't caught one in a couple of months. I've been catching a lot of surf perch, but not a lot of yellowfin croaker. Well, we got some, and I have an idea in mind, but first let's get to filleting. So I've already scaled and gutted the fish. The first thing we're gonna wanna do after that is remove the head. Then I'm going to start cutting from the top of the fish all the way down to the tail. I'm going to put pressure on the fish with my left hand. That'll make it easier for me to cut into the fish. Try to use long strokes when possible. So I'm not going to take off that fillet just yet. I'm going to leave it on so it'll make it easier for me to fillet the other side. If I had taken that fillet off, the fish would be more flat against the cutting board as I'm doing the other side, and that just makes it a little harder to fillet when it's flat like that. Cut through that rib cage right there. And the next thing we're going to want to do is remove the pin bones. I go about halfway up the fish. That's where the pin bones on the yellowfin croaker kind of stop. And then we got the 2 fillets. So now we just got to clean it up a little bit. I'm going to cut off the rib cage. There you have it. No bones, just pure meat. And there you have it. So these are the fillets of the 3 yellowfin croaker we caught. All right, guys, we're gonna be doing a unique surf and turf spin today with Birria beef tacos and Birria fish tacos with those yellowfin croakers that we caught at the beach. I love Birria beef tacos. So good with the cheese and then dipping it in the consomme, so delicious. And I think pairing Birria beef tacos with fish tacos is actually gonna be pretty good. So let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to do is begin creating the liquid that we're going to be braising our meat in. I start off with a pot of water and keep that simmering at low heat. To that, I'm going to add our 3 types of dried chilies that'll give the braising liquid a real deep smoky flavor. Guajillo, chipotle, and ancho chilies. And then lastly, we're gonna add 1 tomato and let that all simmer for about 45 minutes. So while that's happening, we're gonna start prepping the meat. This is a beef chuck roast, nicely marbled. It's gonna be fall apart tender after it's finished. I'm gonna slice the meat into chunks, and I'm doing this because I want more surface area of the meat to be caramelized as we're cooking it. That'll give it more flavor. And then I'm just gonna season it with some salt. Then I'm gonna put some oil in a pot so we can begin browning the meat. I'm just using vegetable oil here because I'm trying to get a real nice sear at high heat. Now we want to get all those pieces nice and caramelized again for that richer, deeper flavor. And that looks about right. So let's check back on our peppers, which have been simmering for about 45 minutes. They're nice and soft now and ready to have their seeds removed. I'm just going to cut the peppers open lengthwise and scrape the seeds out. Alright, there we go. So I'm just going to place it in a bowl and put it aside for a second. We're going to be using a tablespoon of cumin, salt, and cinnamon. And to that, we'll add a couple of tablespoons of oregano and some cloves of garlic. Alright, it's time to put all those ingredients in the blender. The peppers, tomato, spices, oregano, and garlic, along with the liquid we used to simmer the peppers, and blend it all up really well. Now we're going to pour that into our pot with our meat and cover. Alright, so we're going to let that simmer for about 3 hours until it gets nice and tender. Alright, now I've got 3 hours to kill. What to do? What to do? Well, I guess I could catch up on some important reading. And the cupboard could use a good cleaning. Oh yeah, I could finish writing that song for my wife. Just gotta record it real quick and hopefully she likes it. Well, so what do you guys think of the song?
Great job. Sounds good. Super good.
Awesome. Let me just finish up some minor edits in the studio and it'll be done. It's been about 3 hours and the meat is nice and tender, and look at that braising liquid. Just going to ladle all the beef out onto a cutting board and start cutting that into smaller pieces. And finally, I'm going to ladle on some of that braising liquid onto the meat. Alright, so now that we're done with the beef, we can turn our attention to the fish. I'm going to season that up with salt and paprika, place that in a hot pan with a little oil till we get some nice color on the fish, about 30 seconds per side. And set that aside. Now it's time for the tortillas. I've got some corn tortillas here that I'm going to dip in the braising liquid and then place in a hot pan. I'm going to add some Monterey Jack cheese and then fill half a side with our beef. Sprinkle some red onion and cilantro. And finally, I'm going to flip that over and get it nice and crispy on both sides. I'm going to do the same thing with the fish tacos. Add a couple fillets. Red onion and cilantro, but this time I'm going to add some pickled jalapenos just for a little extra flavor and some kick. Flip that over, get it crispy on both sides. And now we're going to ladle in some of that consomme into a bowl, topping it with cilantro, onion, and lime juice. And that's what we're going to dip our tacos in. And we are ready to eat. All right, here we are, guys. Our beef birria and fish birria tacos. I have been craving this all day. I'm super hungry. I think you're hungry too.
Yeah.
This is Ryan, aka my cameraman, aka my son. He's been helping me out the entire time filming this.
Cut, we gotta do it again.
He's never had this before. I haven't had a birria fish taco before. He hasn't had a birria taco, period. So
This is going to be a lot of fun. And again, it's nice to be inside because it is cold and it is raining outside. So normally we like to eat, al fresco outside, enjoy the beautiful weather here in Southern California, but it is cold, windy. You're probably going to see it on the news, like record snowfall everywhere. So to be in here with this fire and this food, and it just can't get any better than this. So, all right, cheers. I'm gonna try the fish one first. You have a fish taco right there. A little dip. That is good. It's actually how I thought it would be. The Monterey Jack cheese that we did adds a nice tanginess to the whole thing, and the crispiness of the taco shell from putting it on the pan with that beef fat, really good. Usually my wife and my other son would be joining us, but they're out right now doing something else, so it's just me and Ryan tonight.
The fun child.
Let's give the beef one a try. I know the beef one's going to be great, but still want to try that. You want to try the beef one?
Sure. It's really good.
It's a funny story. I haven't really been fishing that long. I've only been fishing since the pandemic started, so that's about 2.5 years. I didn't have a lot of interest in fishing. I had fished when I was a kid, maybe a couple of times. And the only reason that I did start fishing was because of this guy. He wanted to go fishing really bad. And at first I was like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. I wasn't excited about it. We went out and I didn't know anything about fishing, so we went to this place and that place. I didn't know what lures to use. I didn't know what fish were out there. I didn't have any strategy for targeting the different fish that were out there. And as a result, didn't catch a lot of fish. So I started combing YouTube and all of that stuff to try to find some strategies on what's going to work out here to catch some fish. So once we started doing that, started catching fish, started loving it. We went to the pier a lot to begin with. And then I started surf fishing and doing all that stuff. And I quickly became addicted. So it's now something for the last 2.5 years that I've done every weekend, which is really funny. It's something that I didn't do at all, and now I can't stop doing it. So just a little funny tidbit. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.